Imagine a secret clan of ninjas so deadly, their name alone makes world leaders tremble. A clan hidden for centuries, trained to kill without mercy, but one of their own, forged in blood, dares to rise against them. This is the story of Raizo, the ninja assassin who turned against the shadows. The story kicks off inside a dimly lit tattoo parlor run by an old master whose steady hands have etched countless stories into skin. As he works on a young gangster, a minion barges in with an envelope. But it's not money. It's filled with fine black sand. The gangsters stare at it, confused. But the old man, he goes pale. His hands tremble, because he knows exactly what this means. Black sand isn't a threat. It's a death sentence. It signals the arrival of the world's most feared killers, the ninjas. Mocked as a coward, the old man pulls open his shirt, revealing a savage scar carved deep into his chest. He tells them the only reason he's still breathing is because he was born with his heart on the right side. A freak twist of fate that saved him from their blade. Before anyone can laugh again, chaos erupts. A man's head is split clean in half, blood spraying the walls. From above, a razor-thin wire drops, snaring another victim and yanking him toward the ceiling. When his body finally falls back down, only shredded guts hit the floor. The room becomes a slaughterhouse. Shadows move faster than the eye can follow. Limbs, torsos, and heads are carved apart in a single strike. And only when every last man is dead do the ninjas finally step out from the darkness. These are the assassins of the Ozunu clan, a hidden brotherhood from Japan led by the ruthless Lord Ozunu. For more than a century, the clan has stolen children, molding them through brutal training into perfect weapons. To world leaders, they're a whispered legend. To their victims, they're the last thing ever seen. For 100 pounds of gold, the Ozunu will deliver one guarantee: your enemy's death. From presidents to prime ministers, countless powerful figures have fallen to their blades, and anyone who dares speak their name speaks it in fear. Among the children forced into this merciless world is a boy named Raizo. Abandoned by his parents, he's handpicked by Lord Ozunu himself, who sees something in the boy, a spark that might one day make him the clan's successor. That expectation comes with a price. By the age of 10, Raizo's body is already covered in scars, each one a brutal lesson carved into his flesh. Silence is survival. Failure is punished. In one infamous test, he's forced to cross a squeaky wooden floor, make a sound, and a hidden blade cuts deep into his feet. At night, he lies awake in agony. But then, something happens that changes him. For the first time in his life, someone shows him kindness. A young girl tends to his wounds, gently applying ointment, and in that moment, Raizo feels something he has never known before: compassion. Her name is Kiriko, another trainee of the Ozunu clan. Unlike the others, though, she doesn't fit the mold. The children are taught to kill without hesitation, to erase every shred of emotion. But Kiriko resists. She sees through the bloodshed, the endless violence. As the years pass, Kiriko and Raizo grow side by side. They rarely speak, but a silent bond forms, a bond of protection, of unspoken trust. Meanwhile, Raizo rises to become the clan's most gifted student, yet even his victories come with pain. In one duel, Raizo faces senior fighter Takeshi. Takeshi cheats, but Lord Ozunu allows it, declaring Raizo the weak one. As punishment, Ozunu drives his fingers deep into Raizo's body with a pressure technique so agonizing it nearly cripples him. His final exam? Survive the night without treatment. And he does. By dawn, Raizo stands ready for training, earning Ozunu's twisted pride. Soon, Raizo proves himself unstoppable, fighting blindfolded, bound, still defeating his enemies. Kiriko is proud of him, but her heart turns further away from the clan's darkness. She disobeys small rules, pushing limits. Raizo warns her, break too many, and Ozunu will take her heart. Kiriko only smiles. My heart already belongs to you, Raizo. It can never be stolen. But her defiance doesn't go unnoticed. In one brutal training session, when Kiriko refuses to stab an opponent, Ozunu slashes her face and throws her into a cage. Raizo sneaks water to her in secret, the only comfort she has left. One stormy night, Kiriko climbs the wall to escape. She pleads with Raizo to come with her, but he refuses. To him, the clan is all he's ever known. His loyalty chains him in place. Days later, Kiriko is dragged back, sentenced to death. Before Raizo's eyes, Takeshi drives a blade through her heart. In that instant, a piece of Raizo dies too, yet he still remains bound to the clan. The story shifts, years later, to Berlin. Inside Europol headquarters, forensic researcher Mika stumbles on something dangerous, evidence of the Ozunu clan's existence. She brings her findings to her superior, Maslow. He laughs it off, until Mika lays down financial reports linking world leaders, shadow payments, and a trail of assassinations. Now intrigued, Maslow digs deeper. Their investigation uncovers the name Sabaton, a high-ranking KGB agent who once made similar claims. His obsession with the clan cost him everything: his career, his credibility, his life. Meanwhile, Raizo himself is in Berlin, living in a rundown apartment. His days are spent training the same way he was raised, pressing his body against a bed of nails, sharpening himself into a weapon. One day, in a quiet laundromat, Raizo senses danger. A woman greets him with a smile, but he knows that smile hides death. She's a ninja. A violent clash erupts, the hum of washing machines drowned by steel and blood. Moments later, crimson pours from one of the machines, her body tumbling inside with the spinning clothes. Elsewhere, Mika pushes further, visiting the widow of Agent Sabaton. The woman recalls her husband's final days, once fearless but turned paranoid. Every window double-locked, every corner flooded with light, no shadows for ninjas to hide in. Still, one night the lights went out, and so did his life. Back at Europol, Mika's superiors begin circling. A higher official visits her office, not to help, but to monitor. She's digging too far, and everyone knows it. That night, Mika returns home only to find the entire block darkened by a power outage. Her worst fear has come true. She steps inside her apartment cautiously. Shadows close in. A ninja strikes. But just as the blade is about to fall, another assassin appears. One who kills to protect her. It's Raizo. Another flashback takes us to Raizo's first mission. At last, his rage is unleashed. He executes his target in brutal fashion. When he meets the clan on the rooftop afterward, Ozunu praises him as his prized disciple. But instead of kneeling, Raizo lashes out. With a Kyoketsu shoge, he slashes Ozunu across the face, blinding one eye. The betrayal enrages the clan. Takeshi attacks, stabbing Raizo and hurling him from the rooftop. Broken and bleeding, Raizo falls into the dark waters below. But fate isn't done with him yet. Since that night of betrayal, Raizo has lived with one mission: destroy the Ozunu clan. Every assassination attempt, every silent kill, they fail when he intervenes. That's why he saved Mika. She's become his only ally, whether she realizes it or not. The two escape to a hotel, changing clothes to mask their scent, because ninjas can track prey by smell. Mika quickly calls Maslow for backup, telling him she's with Raizo, but Maslow has orders from above: capture Raizo on sight. Raizo isn't their enemy, but disobeying means death. When they finally meet, Raizo finds himself surrounded by police, arrested, and chained in solitary confinement. Maslow insists it's for Raizo's safety, but desperation is written all over him. That night, Mika sneaks into the cell with water. Raizo drinks, then whispers the truth. They're coming. Before she can react, the lights die. Shadows pour in. The ninjas are here. Soldiers with modern weapons fall like paper dolls. Mika unlocks Raizo's chains just before the blades close in. Raizo fights, but even he, the clan's deadliest creation, struggles against the overwhelming horde. He yells for Mika to run. The chaos spills onto the streets. Raizo and Takeshi clash in a brutal fight. Takeshi nearly delivers the killing blow until Mika arrives in her car, slamming into him and saving Raizo's life. Broken and bleeding, Raizo is taken to safety, but his enemies are never far. Moments later, the assassins snatch him away. When the police storm in, Mika can only whisper, "They took him 10 minutes ago." Back at the clan's fortress, Raizo is dragged before Lord Ozunu. The master gives him one last chance to bow, to repent. But Raizo refuses. To Ozunu, this betrayal is personal. Once, he believed Raizo would inherit his throne. The punishment begins. The deadly finger jab technique slams into Raizo's body 3 times. Blood gushes from his mouth, and with it, a hidden tracker. Before the clan can react, Europol storms the compound, explosives shaking the walls. Shadows offer no refuge against fire and steel. As the battlefield erupts, Rizzo faces Takeshi one last time. Their duel is savage, each strike echoing years of rivalry and blood. But Rizzo emerges victorious, cutting Takeshi down piece by piece until his rival falls for good. Only one enemy remains, Lord Ozunu. Inside a blood-soaked chamber, the old master waits calmly, untouched by the chaos outside. In a blur, he vanishes, reappearing from the shadows to strike Rizzo down. The two clash in a furious sword duel, steel against steel, father against son, in all but blood. Ozunu offers him one final chance. "You are my son. Kneel and live." But Rizzo's voice cuts through the shadows. "I am no one's son. My first breath will be the moment you die." The fight turns deadly. Ozunu strikes Mika through the chest, nearly ending her life. Enraged, Rizzo finally turns the master's own trick against him, disappearing into the darkness, re-emerging with ruthless precision. His blade carves Ozunu apart, ending the reign of terror once and for all. Dragging Mika into the light, Rizzo watches as medics rush to her side. She lives. Like him, her heart beats on the right side. Fate has spared her too. And in the final scene, Rizzo climbs the walls of the clan's compound. He doesn't stop. He doesn't look back. He leaps over the edge into freedom, finally completing the escape Kiriko once dreamed of. And that's how Rizzo finally broke free from the shadows of the Ozunu clan. But let me ask you, if you were in his place, would you choose loyalty to the only family you ever knew, or risk everything for freedom? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear them. And if you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell icon, and join us for more epic tales like this. Thanks for watching.